El día de hoy, ¿qué? El día de hoy tendremos la participación de mi compañera Edith de Education USA con el Crash Course de Binational Business. Right? En un momentito ella va a compartir pantalla y pues les agradecemos mucho su atención. Si tienen alguna pregunta, la pueden dirigir a mí en el chat. Mi nombre es Ana Lucía Acosta, yo también soy Education USA Advisor. Y con nosotros se encuentran Ali y Fernanda de Comexus, quienes están en esta parte de esta convocatoria, ¿ok? Igual las preguntas pueden ser dirigidas a cualquiera de nosotros y al final tendremos una sección de preguntas y respuestas. All right? Entonces, Edith, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Una disculpa ante todo a todos porque pues bueno, hoy no tengo una cámara aquí disponible, sin embargo, estamos más que listos para comenzar con este curso. Antes de comenzar, bueno, agradezco enormemente a Ana Lucía, mi compañera de Education USA, que está aquí con nosotros apoyándonos en este curso, y bueno, sobre todo a Ali y Fernanda también, parte de Comexus, pues que están aquí para respaldar, ¿no? la veracidad de la información que estamos dando. Entonces, si ustedes ven que estoy diciendo algo que no sea tan adecuado, pues feel free to interrupt, ¿ok? Para poder dar esta información completa. Because of the nature of this course and this program, this session is going to be delivered in English, okay? So don't worry, feel free to ask all of your questions in Spanish. We will be answering them also in Spanish or in English as you feel more comfortable with. But the idea is that you start to practice because this is one of the important parts of the program that you intend to review and also practice. And before we start with the course per se, let me tell you a little bit about Education USA. I know most of you were present during the kickoff of the binational business session that we had last week, but in case you were not here, just some slides to remind you about Education USA. We are a network of advising centers that is present around the world, and we promote U.S. Higher education opportunities to study in the United States. We work very close with different institutions and embassies and consulates here in Mexico to make this possible. So since we are around the world, that means that in Mexico, we are not just one center. We have a center in Mexico, another one in Sonora, that is where Ana Lucia is, another one in San Luis Potosí, that is where I am, I'm sorry, and well, we have many different centers around the country. And part of our services, it's to offer different activities to encourage you guys to study in the United States, to study or to do different different things, different programs that are going to allow you to improve in your professional life and your academic life also. Some of them are one-on-one advising. So if you contact your closest advising center, it's probable that you're going to be able to book a one-on-one session. So in that session, you can ask all of the questions that you have about your own specific situation. We also offer information sessions like the one that we had last week with the kickoff of this scholarship of this program. We guide you on the application that you need to do for scholarships and financial aid. We also offer resources for you to present and to prepare for different standardized exams. So that can be GRE, that can be TOEFL, that can be IELTS. I don't know, all of the different standardized tests that the institutions may ask you to present. We offer workshops, and we are also present in some educational fairs. Since a very important part of our services is to give you this type of guide for different scholarship, is that we prepare this crash course for the binational business program that Fulbright offers for Mexico. This is how this course was prepared. in an effort to get more people to know about this program and also to have a strong application to increase the possibilities to earn this scholarship. So we're very happy that you are here today for this crash course. Why is it a crash course? Because we're going to be here only 3 days covering specific sections of the requirements for this program. It is important to tell you that we're going to be focusing on two very specific areas. The first session, that is the one that we're delivering today, it's polishing your personal statement and your grant of purpose. So today we're going to be talking about that. How do you have to write your essays for you to increase the possibility for the committee to understand and to see who are you and why you are the best candidate for this program. Tomorrow we're going to have another important session that is going to be delivered by another Education USA advisor that is going to be writing your way into your internship in the US. And she's going to be focusing on the CV. What are the most important aspects that you will need to cover in your CV for it to stand out from all of the different CVs that Comexus is going to get on this application. And then on October 24th, it's when we're going to have a general Q&A with Ali and Fer. They are going to be here with us, and they are going to clear all of the doubts that you may have about other aspects of the application. So you probably are going to be asking yourselves, and what about the other requirements? If we're going to cover the personal statement, the grant of purpose, and the CV, what's going to happen with the other areas? Let me tell you that just last week, we finished with a workshop that we deliver to help candidates prepare for the Fulbright Garcia Robles scholarships, but the ones that are intended for people that want to study a master's degree or a PhD. So something that is important about this is that these different calls, they share some requirements. Some of them are the GRE, the English certification, the letters of recommendation. So we already have material that you can have and you can review in order to prepare the other requirements. But we believe that these two aspects that we're going to be checking in this crash course are like the ones that are going to make your application different from the ones for postgrados. So let me tell you that we're going to share a playlist with you. All of you register for this course. So you're going to get through your email, you're going to get this playlist that contains the recordings and the information that covers all of the other aspects of these requirements. So it's going to be important that you give yourself some time to review those other recordings. And then on Thursday, come prepare with your own questions. The things that you the things that maybe were not that clear for you during the recordings, you will be able to ask them to Ali and to Fernanda on Thursday. Okay, so that's the idea. That's why this is a crash course. It's going to happen very, very fast. But remember, we're going to continue in here for you to solve your questions and also to help you to review your essays, your CVs, and your documents in general. Okay, so well, having said so, we're going to start with the session that brings us today here, polishing your personal statement and grant of purpose. It's important that you remember which ones are the general requirements. So you're going to be asked for your grades. So there's nothing that we can do in your grades. They are already there. You already got your GPA, so you already know what you have in there. You also have to cover the GRE or GMAT requirements. So that's something that you're going to get a recording about it with some tips and some ideas for you to prepare for this. You're going to be asked for the CV. Tomorrow we're going to be covering that, and also letters of recommendation. You will be getting resources for you to prepare that. So one of the requirements that comes in this specific call is the personal statement and grant of purpose in English, and you have to submit it in PDF. Okay, so you may ask, why are they asking me to have some essays in English? Why are they important? Well, let me tell you that in general, this is a requirement that you're going to find also in the higher education institutions that you may want to apply maybe later if you want to pursue a master's degree or a PhD. This is a requirement that you're going to be finding there. So why are they important? They're important because they explain or they present the writer's qualities and intentions to the universities, and in this case, to this specific program. In these essays is where you have to cover, is where you have to answer what makes you the best candidate for the scholarship or the program that you want to apply to. What were the struggles that you have had in your academic or your professional career? You can also talk about different extracurricular activities, maybe research, maybe teaching, all of the different things that you have been doing, and your career plans. In general, these are the most common things that are covered in this kind of essays. So that's why they are important for the application, because it's going to help you explain yourself, explain more about yourself, more of the things that we cannot see in your CV or in your transcripts. So that's why they are important. And what is the committee trying to find in this kind of essays? Well, first of all, that's going to be a proof of your writing readiness. So what's that? How well, how develop is your writing skill? This is one way to check that also, and very important, they are going to help them to know what kind of person you are. You can also talk more about the skills and features that probably you cannot or you are not presenting in your CV. This is where you're going to be talking, and this is where they are going to be seeing why you are a good fit for the program, and why and how you face the problems that you had in the past. Okay, so in general, talking about the personal statement that is required for this binational business program. If you open your account in the Comexus platform, you're gonna see that you're gonna have a tab that says essays. And in that section, you're going to find the personal statement and the grant of purpose. So the personal statement has this information. It says, it should describe who you are, your past experiences, and you have to illustrate your unique ability to succeed in the proposed program. So what does that mean? That you're going to be using this personal statement to talk about your history. Where you come from, what are the different experiences that have shaped you in your life, okay? It is also here where they ask you to describe any significant factors or situations that have affected your development. This is the text that you're going to find in the platform. So what does this mean? That you can talk in here about the things that have affected you, either positive or negative, in a positive or in a negative way. So that's something that you need to cover in your personal statement. It is very important that you not repeat in here the information that you're going to present in your grant of purpose. And it is also required that you don't mention any specific US universities on this personal statement. So what's gonna be important in here? That you describe who you are, and that you describe the significant factors or situations that affect your development. As I already mentioned, either in a positive or a negative way, this is the place where you're going to be talking about them. Okay, then after this, or yes, next to this, you're also gonna have the prompt for the statement of grant purpose. And in this essay is where you're going to explain, you're going to tell why are you interested in this professionalization program. So it's going to be very important that you state in the grant of purpose what makes you the best candidate for this program, what business activities or what activities that you consider are related to the program are being or have been part of your the past or your plans, and how your study plans fits in with your previous training as well as your future plans. So what does this mean? On this prompt is asking you to tell why it is important for you and why not only important, why is it key that you get into this program, that you are the best for this program. You have to tell us, well, not us, you have to tell Comexus. How is that all of the previous training that you have had, it's now matching with your future plans, and how the program is going to help you to put all of this together. Okay, and a very important aspect, what it's going to be the binational impact of the plan that you have. So what does this means is the meaning is that you need to talk about your purpose. What are you going to be doing with this program? Once that you enter, once that you finish, what abilities do you plan to get, and how are you going to apply those abilities into the thing that you want to make when you come back to Mexico, and how are those things are going to impact the binational relationship among Mexico and the United States. That's going to be the most important section of the grant purpose. Okay, so as you may see, you have to write two very important and a little bit complicated essays. Something that is very important for you to notice is the format that you need to follow. It's very important that you remember that you have a word limit that is 400 to 600 words. What does that mean? That you need to follow instructions. So if you don't follow instructions from this very specific aspect, that's not going to be a good point for you. So you need to really be specific about the things that you want to present in these two essays. It's important that you remember that when you're writing, you need to use Times New Roman, size 12, and the margin should be 1 inch. You need to make sure that your essay is well organized, that is clear, and that you are using proper English and grammar. That's going to be very important in these documents. Okay, so let's get started. How are you going to be clear? How are you going to be specific? What can you do in order to get this kind of characteristics in your writing? Well, that's what we're going to be talking next. First of all, it is important that you start by asking yourself different and important questions. And these questions are going to help you to start write down these essays, these documents. First of all, what is your story? What do you want the people to know about you? What do you want the committee to know about you? It's going to be important. Then another important aspect, what makes you different from others? This is a very competitive program. Fulbright, one of the main characteristics that it has is that it's very competitive. So how are you going to stand out from all of the other candidates? What makes you different from all of the others that are also pursuing this kind of program? What have you learned so far that can help you to be different, or that can help you to bring something extra or something different to the program? How did you achieve your accomplishments? What challenges have you faced and how have you overcome them? What are your future goals and what's your plan in general? That is important. It's not only talking about how beautiful this program is and how interesting and how it's going to help you to increase and your knowledge and the culture, the contact with different people. Yeah, that's something that we already know, but you have to be more specific and you have to introduce yourself into that kind of explanation and tell us, well, tell them more about what makes you different from others. And very important, what skills do you want to learn? Which ones do you want to improve? And why with this specific program? Okay, so those are the things that you need to start asking yourself. So in order to check that, let's start working a little bit on this. I'm going to ask you to please go to menti.com and enter this code that you have in here, please, and write your answer for the first question that we have in there. So can you see my question now? Yes, good. So there's the QR in case that you didn't have the code. The code is also here, so whatever you prefer. And don't be afraid to share your answers. They're going to be anonymous. And we need them in order to continue to the next section of this session. We're starting to get some answers. Okay, go ahead, guys. I know all of you are already thinking about an answer, so just share it. Great, go ahead. Go ahead, go ahead. 2 more minutes to get some more answers. last minute, so it's your last opportunity to share your answer. Okay, so let's go over some of the answers that you shared with us. Why am I the best candidate for this program? Well, because it fits to my political career, because I consider I use all the skills and good abilities that I have to help others, and that gives me a purpose. I have the ability to adapt and grow in a new environment, and I want to continue helping people, and I want to be part of changes. Also, because I'm a person who always learn to share. I like to share knowledge and help the people of my skills to get a better life, not just for me, but my relatives and my community. And I could help my neighbors because I like to contribute to commercial relations between Mexico and the USA. Because I consider that I can achieve whatever I can purpose to. My purpose is the program aligns with my career goal as a finance graduate, and I'm eager to expand my knowledge in the other business areas and gain professional experience in the US. Have emotional control by myself, and I know to solve my problems. Okay, so this is just a starting point. Okay, if we start from this very first answer that you're sharing with us, I can start from here to ask many different things that can help you to polish this kind of answer. For example, because it fits my political career, how? How is this program going to help you advance in your political career? What is this program going to bring, and how are you going to use the things that it brings to you in order to really improve your and advance your political career? Because I consider I can achieve whatever my purpose is. So, and how is this program going to help you to achieve other goals? And what's the plan after being part of this program? What are your future goals that this program is going to help you achieve? Okay. Here it says, I like to contribute to the commercial relations between Mexico and USA. How? And how is this program going to help you with that? What it's your purpose to learn, or what is the plan that you already have to advance these relations between Mexico and the USA? So those are the things that you can like start asking yourself right now at the very beginning, and at the very start of the grading process that you're going to need to start in order to write down the essays that you are required to do. How are you going to start with that? As you saw, all of you have different answers, and all of them are valid. And it is important that if you have that as a starting point, this is where you're going to start your brainstorming. Let me tell you that brainstorming, it's always the first thing that we need to do, the first step that we need to do when we're going to start to write something. Is not taking the paper or taking the computer and just start writing the essay that I'm going to deliver at the end. It is important that you first brainstorm all of the different things that you want to mention in each one of the essays that you have to write. Okay, so that's going to help you to organize your ideas from the very beginning, to organize the things that you really want to mention. It's going to also help you to work on an outline, and the outline is going to help you to organize better the essay, and it's going to make it easier for the people that is going to read it. We're going to talk about it a little bit more in the next slides. Once that you brainstorm, you're going to have more control over the ideas that you really want to present in your writing. Okay, either you and it's going to help you. The brainstorming is going to help you to separate what you want to present in your personal statement and what you want to present in your statement of purpose. Because remember that something that is important, that is also required and mentioned in the platform, it's that you don't have to repeat information from your statement of purpose and from your personal statement on either of the essays. Okay. Something that is also good about the brainstorming is that the ideas that come to your mind, you're going to put them there, and you're not going to forget them. So that's going to be very, very helpful. And it's going to help you to discover different aspects of the things that you really need for your essays. So that's why brainstorming is going to be very important. As I already mentioned, with the ideas that you share with us and the answer that you share with us, you're going to start asking questions related to the purpose of these essays. And that's going to help you to discover the different aspects that you need to mention according to the answers that you are already given. Okay, so how can you start with this? Does anybody of you remember what's the deadline for this call? What's the deadline of the binational business scholarship? I can tell you it's February. And the day is also significant day. Yeah, that's right, February 14th. Yeah, Valentine's Day. So it says start early, draft, and edit. Start early. Do you think or do you consider that right now you're starting early? Could be, right? I would say so. You have time, but that doesn't mean that you have to leave this until February 10th. No, the earlier you start, the better. Okay, because that's gonna help you draft and that's gonna help you edit. Okay, and these two things are very important in this kind of statements that you need to present. Okay, it's also important that you start to create your CV, and your CV is going to help you to define better what information you want to include in your personal statement and what information you want to include in your purpose. It's important that you write down the essay prompt. So it is important that you create your account in the platform, in the Comexus platform, and then you can take the information that comes in there for you to start writing. I already separate that information in the previous slides, and I'm going to share this with you. So you can also have it in here, but it's going to be important that you have it in the place that you're going to write for. If you're going to use your computer, copy and paste. If you're going to use a notebook, write down the prompt, and that's going to help you a lot. You have to make sure that you're including your background, because remember, one of the things that it is asking is your past experiences. So that's going to be very important in your personal statement, because it's going to help us understand where you come from and what you want to achieve. Okay. You have also to mention your interests, your ambitions, your priorities, and what aspects or what have been the experiences that have shaped you, not only your personality, but your way of thinking, and also what experiences are moving you to apply to this program. What do you want to achieve? What if you already identify a problem and you want to help to solve that problem or to make things easier in this area? This is the place where you have to talk about it, and you can talk about the way that you discovered that this problem existed, and now the way that you think this program is going to help you to acquire the abilities and the skills in order to help to solve it. Okay. So we were mentioning that it was important that you start to work your essays into an outline. What is an outline? It contains it is the way that you write down the information in a paper. Okay. This is in general the outline that we recommend that you follow. First of all, in both essays, you have to start with an introduction. The introduction is going to contain something, or it needs to contain something that we call compelling statement, or in a more like a common colloquial way, we call it the hook. What is a hook? A hook, it's going to be that phrase or that thing that is going to catch my attention when I start reading these essays. So the hook, it's personal, and it's going to bring the attention to your essay. It's going to help the reader to want to continue reading what you're presenting. Because imagine how many statements the committee is going to get, and how many different personal statements and grants of purpose the committee is going to be reading in just few days. Many. So how are you going to make yours outstand from the others? The hook is going to be very important, because it's going to help them to want to read, continue reading what you wrote. Okay. And it also has to contain your thesis statement that is going to be the same main topic. Remember, in one, you're talking about your personal experiences, your background, your story, your history. And then the second one, it's going to be about the purpose. Why this program, why you, and why, what is the impact that this is going to bring to the binational relationship. Okay. Once that you have your introduction, you have to divide the paragraphs into your main ideas. You can have one main idea per paragraph, and then summarize everything that you wrote on the previous paragraphs in a conclusion. Okay. So something important for you. Remember that when you support a main idea, you can have the first paragraph with your main idea number one, talking maybe about your background and skills, the different experiences, but something important, it's that you have to explain what you're mentioning in here. The main idea is going to be the first sentence, and then you have to support that main idea by providing examples or anecdotes to help you build the point that you're trying to make. Okay, so that is going to be very important on every one of these different paragraphs. It's not just writing a main idea and then a second idea and then a third main idea. No, it's I write the main idea, then I give examples, I talk about anecdotes, and then I make my point with the information that I'm given. The same happens with the second and the third one. And then your conclusion is going to summarize all of the information that you provided before. Okay. This will be like the example of an outline. Okay. So you can have something like this. I believe that in order to recognize that a plan is going to be successful, you need to be lectured about the topic. Maybe the person that is writing this considers this as a good hook, okay? And then introduces the thesis statement. I consider my background experiences, interests, and skills make me a strong candidate for the binational business program. So that's the thesis statement. That's what you're going to be mentioning in here. The most important thing, what makes you a strong candidate for the binational business program, okay? Then you start talking about yourself. I've been an entrepreneur for more than 2 years. This is just an example. And then you continue elaborating. Remember that after this, you have to provide examples and you have to support what you are mentioning. Then your second paragraph, maybe your main idea. Number 2, I want to. What's going to be your plan? You write down what you want to do, and then you support what the plan is. And then maybe your main idea, you want to talk about human idea number 3, you want to talk about what are the things that have shaped you as the person that you are right now. When I was in college, I was marked by the work of, or by the research of, or by these different companies. We don't know. So you can start adding in there and then building, giving examples, also always providing something that is going to help you support what you are mentioning at the beginning of each paragraph. And then your conclusion. Okay, this is just an example. My experience as an entrepreneur gave me the tools to accomplish and set future goals. As an international entrepreneur advocate, I think here we're missing a sentence. It's always important. Yeah. As an international entrepreneur advocate, it is always important to be updated and compare current trends that are beneficial for both countries. This is just an example, okay? Just for you to have like a clearer idea about what to write on the introduction, then your paragraphs, and then your conclusion. It is important that you follow this outline, an outline in general, because it's gonna help you to have to set your points in a clearer way, okay? So it is important that you plan ahead. What are you going to state on each statement? And something that is going to be very useful for you is that you dedicate a specific time to work on this time. What is the best time for you to work on this? Is it during the, I don't know, maybe during the mornings where you're going to work or to school, maybe in the afternoon after you had lunch and you are already relaxed and you have like some time, some free time to write down, to start writing down this, maybe at night when you are already preparing for sleeping or something like that, and maybe you have some time in there and you feel that's going to help you to write better. It is important that you consider also how long this writing process is going to take you. It's not going to be something easy. Let me tell you that in general, we consider that a good essay at least was drafted 15 times. So the more you work on this, the better. And who can support you along the way? Okay, who's gonna be there to help you if you are not very clear about the things that you want to write or to state on every one of the documents, on each one of the documents. Of course, I can tell you that we are here to help you. Education USA is here to help you. Yeah. And but if you have somebody else that can help you in this process, don't hesitate to ask for help. That's always gonna be a benefit for you. And in general, what resources do you need when you are going to start, when you're working on this process? That's gonna be also important for you to identify. If you're gonna need, remember that resources are not only the tools that you're going to use to write, but also samples, also maybe dictionaries, maybe tutorials, more tutorials online, or maybe from different institutions. So it's important that you try to think about it. And well, very important, do's and don'ts for this process. First, don't write it as a letter. This is not going to be a letter. This is not a whom it may concern a type of writing. No, it is your personal statement. It is your statement of purpose, the thing that you want to tell the people about you and the plans that you have. So don't write it as a letter. Please avoid cliche phrases. Something important about the Fulbright program is that they want to see how unique you are. So avoid trying to include these cliche phrases that everyone else is using. That's not gonna be good for you. It's also important that you are not too general or the opposite, right? So as I already mentioned, it's not to talk about how great this experience is going to be. It's why you're saying that it is going to be great. Okay, what make you qualify it as a good program, a great program, or the best program? You need to focus on that. Avoid word repetition. Sometimes we tend to use a lot the same specific words, so try to avoid that. And also avoid trying to use large or intellectual words. If you're using words that you are not very familiar with, that's gonna be very easy to notice in your writing. So don't try to use them, okay? And something that is very important, sometimes we don't check the spelling problems because we rely on a spell check from the, I don't know, maybe from Word, maybe from Docs, maybe, I don't know, Grammarly, things like that. So don't rely on it, okay? You need to proofread your document and you need to check if your spelling is correct. So don't rely on a machine to do that, okay? Then what are the things that we do recommend that you do? Write in formal language. That's going to be important. And please, please, please avoid using contractions. I know that you want to save words because you only have 400 to 600. I know, but contractions are not good for this formal language that you're supposed to be using in your documents. It's important that you provide examples, as we already mentioned. Don't forget to talk about why you are applying and which ones are your goals. That's very important. And you don't need to be, you need to be specific on that. Try to use diverse vocabulary, write multiple drafts. That's going to help you a lot. And use your own voice and your own writing style. That's always helpful. Okay, if you want to stand out and you're using your own voice, that's going to be easier than if you're trying to copy somebody else's that maybe you think their writing it's good. Okay, so never forget to proofread and peer feedback. Ask your friends, ask people that you already know that know English, that that they, if they can help you with this kind of proofread. So don't forget, write without fear, edit without mercy. That's gonna be very important, and that's why drafting is also important, because you cannot edit if you don't draft. Okay, so the checklist for your final draft: in the content of the personal statement, who you are, and you have to illustrate your unique ability. You have to describe your significant factors, the ones that have affected your development, and the statement of purpose or of grant of purpose. You have to tell us, to tell Comexus, why you want to pursue this program in the United States specifically, and the binational impact. That's going to be very important for this statement. Be as specific as possible. Don't mention US universities, and do not repeat information among the personnel and the grant and the statement of grant purpose. That's important. Remember, 400 to 600 words, no more, no less. I know that's not gonna be less, because if you have less than 400, probably you're missing something. Times New Roman, size 12, single space, 1-inch margins. Those are the things that are mentioned in the platform, so you need to follow those instructions. Okay, so some resources to improve your writing. You can check the blog, the WordPress that we have in Education USA, so you can have many different resources for you to write down these different things. And well, we're going to share that with you. So time for questions. Go ahead. I already speak a lot.
Si tienen alguna pregunta, pueden levantar su mano o pueden poner en el chat. Igual son preguntas relacionadas con los temas que se vieron el día de hoy. ¿Ok?
Hi, how are you? How can I book a personal, yes, like to help me, like personal? You told something about booking a personal session or something like that?
Yes. Les voy a compartir en el chat donde pueden encontrar su centro más cercano y el asesor de Education USA más cercano a ustedes. All right. Dependería de dónde habitan. El advisor, por ejemplo, yo cubro Sonora, Baja California Sur y Sinaloa. Entonces, si ustedes están en ese estado, sería conmigo. All right. Entonces, les voy a poner el link para que busquen a su asesor de confianza. All right. Thank you.
Y recuerden que es importante que ya lleguen con sus preguntas, o sea, ya hayan hecho su em, investigación, si ya empezaron con este programa de, bueno, con su solicitud y ya tienen como que el primer draft de su ensayo, that's gonna be important, que llegues ya con algo. Y bien importante, em, el propósito de estos talleres, bueno, de este crash course y de los talleres que hemos estado dando es que ustedes sigan ya las líneas que hemos estado marcando, ¿no? Entonces, mañana que vean la presentación del CV, va a ser bien importante que cuando lleguen con su asesor más cercano, pues ya traigan un CV siguiendo las líneas que se les marcaron en este crash course. Igual, cuando lleguen con su personal statement, su statement of grant of purpose, también que ya esto pues esté siguiendo, ¿no? La línea que les estamos marcando.
Sí, aquí les comparto, si se fijan, son algunos asesores, somos algunos asesores, simplemente tienen que buscar el estado de donde son, le dan clic y los va a llevar a la información del centro. Ok. Thank you.
Any more questions? ¿Más dudas? ¿Más preguntas?
Creo que las están guardando para el día
Para
jueves.
el jueves.
Yes. All right.
Ali, Fernanda, no creo, no sé si quieran agregar algo a lo que mencionamos sobre los ensayos en general.
No, yo creo que todo, muchas gracias por la presentación y solo quiero resaltar, es muy importante empezar desde ya y tener muchos drafts y trabajar en el primer saque nunca va a ser tu ensayo. Más tiempo que tengas para revisar los ensayos, mejor. Y bueno, ya han preguntado, pero les recomendamos mucho trabajar con sus asesores de Education USA, porque son increíbles y para eso están.
Fernando, si quieres abrir tu micrófono, adelante.
Yeah, sure. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Um, I just want to make a little question about the GRE and GMAT exams. I've been told that GMAT is not already accepted, and we just the exam that it's accepted right now, it's GRE. So can you help me with comments about that?
Yes, for the exams, are you referring to it's not accepted at Comexus? Or
Yeah, for the Fulbright.
for I believe that's for postgrado. It's no longer accepted, but since the GMAT is specifically for business, like MBAs, we do accept it for the binational business call.
Okay. So just to be clear, so in the case of MBAs, it's accepted, the GMAT exam?
I can't speak to postgrado. They're two different calls. So there's
Okay.
or there's like three different calls with postgrados, postgrado normal, STEM regional. For those are different calls. So you would have to look on the webpage and specifically ask the program officer for that program. But for binational business, it is accepted. And I just want to remind everyone to apply for a program, you cannot apply to postgrado and negocios binacionales at the same time, as they're two different programs.
Okay, I just get it. I just get it. I'm sorry about that mistake, but it's okay. Thank you.
No, no worries. Thank you for the question.
That help us clarify this very important aspect. Remember that the binational business program is a professionalization program, okay? You're going to go there, you're not going to study an MBA, you're going to be there like improving your professional skills at a company in the United States, along with taking 4 courses, if I'm not wrong. So that's why this program is different from the postgrados or the STEM regional. Bueno, parece que no tenemos más dudas. Muchas gracias. Yo me despido aquí sin foto, sin imagen, pero soy yo. Muchas gracias a todos, Ali, Fer, Ana.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Los esperamos el día de mañana. Okay. Yay. Thank you so much.
All right. See you then.